So we start off our vacation inside the Memphis Pyramid, and we're going to go to the top of the pyramid and try to take some pictures. It's pretty impressive stuff. They have an indoor lake. It's a Bass Pro Shop. The world famous Bass Pro Shop alligators. Very cool. This is some cool place. The fish are hungry in the Bass Pro Shop. This is some place, unbelievable place. The Memphis Pyramid. We're on the second level here, and there's stuffed bears and wolves, and there's a restaurant of types way up on top of the pyramid. Since this is early in the morning, I don't think we're going to be going to eat, but this is an amazing place. If you're ever in Memphis, don't miss the pyramid. In the convention center, the biggest statue of Elvis Presley I've ever seen. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. They call this the Dolly Parton Bridge, but I don't know why. I just can't figure out why they would call that the Dolly Parton Bridge. We had this great tour of Memphis, and this gal has been singing for 3 hours on a bus, singing Elvis songs for us, and she's going to do one in the amphitheater here, I think. So we've arrived at our destination.
No, I read about it. I got a
Now these are the smokestacks that get lowered. You can see the hydraulics here. They're a couple of 100 feet high. They get lowered so we can go under some of the bridges. I'm waking up Tuesday morning. Heavenly temperatures, a little breeze blowing, going down to Mississippi. Drag racing, a tug, and some barges. I'm not sure what's in there, yeah. Oil, I guess.
Just before you came, they were unloading like a red.
Coming into the city of Greenville. Getting ready to go on a B.B. King tour to the B.B. King Museum in Indianola, Mississippi.
When that sound moves through the air, it's like, there it is. You can't get it anymore.
So at the end of our tour of the B.B. King Museum, which was just great, and we learned a lot about it. And because our daughter Stacy is a musician, it has a lot of meaning to us. And he's actually buried right behind the museum. Really a good presentation. Next stop on a tour is the world famous Club Ebony. Leaving Greenville and back on the Mississippi. room, and I'm looking at the engine. It's about 150 degrees in here. Wow. This is pretty cool. A real steam engine. And there's where we just were, down in the engine room. And this is a real steam engine, not a some kind of replica. It's a real steam engine from 1927. Wow, if you're standing here, you can't believe how there's water spray and everything here. Wow, pretty cool. Then the night ends are romantic. Sunset on the Mississippi. Wow. Wednesday morning, we wake up and we're already in the town of Vicksburg. Oh, there it is, Vicksburg, Mississippi. There's an awful lot of Civil War stuff here. Another, looks like it's going to be another beautiful day in the 90s. Before we go into Vicksburg, I wanted to see what this paddle wheel looked like when it's not moving and splashing water around. This is really impressive. Now we're in Vicksburg, and this is, look at where the boat is, and this is where the flood marks are up here. Look at the flood marks. If levees had held various years, they'd be flooded out here. And we're headed into Vicksburg. In Vicksburg, there's some old cabooses down there. Look at these. The B.B. King wall. The whole wall of the levee is painted. Very cool. We're looking at the church in Vicksburg that has some real Tiffany windows in it, and we just had a nice little tour of how valuable and beautiful these windows are. A little interesting history is the original minister of the church was a whaling captain, and when they built the church 1860, to get this to the top of the church, he put it on his back and climbed up the roof. And that's the original church, the original cross they still have in the garden of the church. Interesting. So we're cruising around beautiful downtown Vicksburg. Every part of Vicksburg is on a hill. Shopping for souvenirs, so much fun. I need a t-shirt. My friends won't believe I've ever been to Vicksburg. Now I didn't notice, but the Union Army shelled Vicksburg for 2 years, and the cannonballs went into the town 3 miles away and were destroying buildings. But interesting little stuff. In Vicksburg, the official Coca-Cola Museum. You think we should go in and have a Coca-Cola? In the Vicksburg Train Museum here. Oh, they got an operating train, several operating. What else they have here? Looks like about 100 ship models. More train layouts in every gauge. Oh, model airplanes up on a wall. Wow, very nice. Very cool. Very interesting city, Vicksburg. Pretty cool little museum. Now this diorama looks like thousands of little soldiers depicting the Civil War battles. Pretty elaborate. Pretty cool with all little bunkers and things. Very detailed. And we went to this little Vicksburg little railroad museum. Had a lot of historic stuff, a lot of ship models, a lot of little train layouts. One of the really nice things about this tour is they have these buses that come, and they're all part of the tour, of course. There's buses from several different tours. This is not one of ours. Ours is painted up like a boat. Pretty neat. Now this is pretty neat. Notice the difference between our bus. This is one from our tour. It's painted up. Look at this. It's painted up just like a boat. And they have 5 of these that follow the ship. Everywhere you go, there's 5 buses to take you everywhere. We're going to be going under a bridge tonight, so I hope I can get the pictures of the stacks getting lowered. And I said we're going to try to come back. We got other things with touring here. It'd be pretty cool to see these stacks go down. There's the tug going by. As soon as he leaves, it's by, we're going to be turning the boat around and leaving Vicksburg. So this is the steam calliope that they're going to do a little, it's like a steam organ. It's in the back of the boat. As they leave the dock, they're going to play us a tune.
Yeah, but I mean, the whistles are way up there, so. Yeah. You know.
Is it louder up there even?
Yeah. Oh yeah, those suckers are loud, man.
Well, you're
to get some footage of them lowering the smokestacks that go under the bridge in Vicksburg. And what's going to happen is, I found out at one of the seminars here, only this stack is hooked to the engine. The one on the other side, the Steamboat, the one on the other side is only hooked where they burn garbage. So what happens at some time, one stack will be black and one will be white where they're burning cardboard. Here we go, they're going down. I guess they do one at a time. I'm trying to capture all the activity that goes on this boat. There's something, the itinerary is very busy. There's something every hour. Tonight, virtually every night, you have a Broadway show, and they are professional shows. I don't think they want us taking video at the performances. So look at this, how it's going down. Is that pretty cool? Everybody's excited about this. How's that, Karen? Pretty cool? Yeah, it's pretty neat, huh? Now also, the pilot house goes down too. Pilot house can be lowered, but then he can't see where he's going, so they walk out here to steer the ship from out here. That's what we were told at this morning's seminar. Okay, so one stack is down. And this is the one that really is connected to the boiler. In fact, you can see this one isn't as dirty. This one really is dirty. Here we go. Very cool stuff.
the other one from the other side?
Very, yeah. No, I can see it from here. It's very cool. Right after this, we're going to go for dinner. We gave up our reserved dinner seating. We got a private table. We don't have a private table now. We're 15 minutes late. Oh man, that's cool. That is really cool. Now with the stacks down, we'll be able to go under the bridge. And as soon as we go under the bridge, we're gonna go get something to eat. We eat about 8 meals a day. Food is unlimited, and we're taking advantage of it. I wanted to show this too. This is a private cabin here. This fella has the whole front of the ship. It's a private thing. Very cool. So he gets to see the front of the smokestacks. You can see it's the left stack that's running the boiler right now. They're burning diesel fuel. As we're getting ready to go under the bridge, coming up on that, it looks like the hotel has extended itself in a way that makes it look like it's a riverboat. Pretty cool. I assume that's a hotel or something. Here's an interesting little tidbit. As we go upriver, how can you make this up? There's the train up there. Yeah, probably. They go upriver at 4 miles an hour and downriver. There's the train going over as we go underneath. That's a very rare shot. Wow. How cool is that? And there's the lovely Mrs. Ertnowski. And we're getting to get ready to go to have another delicious meal. Wow. We are having the time of our life. That is really something. And now the only thing left is, we're not going to stay for it, is to raise the stacks. When you're on these river cruises, you have to drink iced tea by the gallon. Now every night there's a Broadway show. Tonight is the Bobby Darin show. And we are waiting. This is on the way to Natchez. Tomorrow when we wake up, we'll be in Natchez.
When I greet her in the window of the morning glories, twine all around your door.
So after a great Bobby Darin show, sunset on the Mississippi. Tomorrow's Natchez?
Natchez, yes.
Tomorrow's Natchez. Well, this morning we're in Natchez, and another ship, the American Duchess, is here, another riverboat. We're going to be going on a plantation tour after we have a delicious breakfast. We're getting ready to go on our Natchez tour of Natchez, Mississippi. Now, what do they call this? The Rosalie Mansion in Natchez.
It's part of the original traceway.
Because I fell.
When these traders came to town and traded their wares under the hill, they had to get back home somehow. They traded everything they had. Usually they came down the river on keelboats, and they even traded their boats for the wood.
We're here to see a really historic Frogmore is the name of it. It's a plantation. They grow cotton. We're going to see how the whole process works.
The lid flies to the back and is moved by air to the pressing area. Our clerk in the office right here, the glassed-in office that you saw in our...
Getting ready to leave Natchez, Mississippi.
trapdoors, secret compartments, chewing gum, small people, escaping gases, anything? No, throw it, I'll catch it. Yeah, no, throw it, I'll catch it. Look, I never said I was any good. Besides this cup here, I also use one of these. Here it is. You ever see one of these? It's a special magic purse. You simply reach inside and you pull out a coin. Is there anything inside there? Nothing? Can you do me a favor to check this coin out for everyone? Actually, you know what? While you're checking that one out, you might as well check them all out. There. The old silver dollars minted in the 1800s in New Orleans, which is where I live. I see no one here gives a damn. They look all right? What's your name? Karen. That's a lovely name. Karen, would you like to do a bit of magic? Oh, good. I can sit down and watch. Perfect. I love magic. Go ahead, Karen. This is going to be great.
Make me younger. That'd be magic.
Wait. All right, I guess I'll do it. Just stand next to the star. Did you see the star? That's me, Karen. Watch. You hear that? It's a sound that the coin makes right before it vanishes. Watch. Of course you know where it is, right? No, it's right here. Watch.
Hey.
I'll do it again, even though nobody asked me to. Blow right there. Do you know what that does? No, I just kind of like it. That's 2. Karen, how many coins do I have in my hands? 2. Are you right or left-handed? Then give me your left hand. Oh, wow. I don't know if you folks can see, but from this line right here, I can tell that one of your parents was female. It's a bit of a gift. Hold on to the coins, don't let me get to them, all right? Karen, I'm gonna put this cup in the back, and put your other hand right on top, just like that. Oh, that's perfect. Karen, how many coins do you see in my hand? How many do you feel in your hand? Watch closely. How many do you have in your hand now? That's right. Give her a big round of applause.
Hey!
Yes.
That is not funny, but on the way to Baton Rouge, we're due to be in Baton Rouge at lunchtime. They had a little medical emergency. They had to pick somebody up and take them to the hospital. After a short stop for the emergency, just north of Baton Rouge, we're headed to Baton Rouge. Should be there around lunchtime. Now, as we're coming into Baton Rouge, virtually everywhere you look, there's some oil tanker, barge, something going by. River traffic. So we're entering actually the port of St. Charles. It's really Baton Rouge. I'm all confused today. Didn't have enough coffee. Some of the other riverboats are in port. We're going to go see the Destroyer. That's on our list on our tour. Some more riverboats are here. I had no idea at the beginning of this tour how prolific this type of stern wheeler was. It's something I'm going to try to do a little research on. And of course, I love to visit military vessels. So we're going to have a busy afternoon here in Baton Rouge, not St. Charles. And part of this adventure is on the way here we passed endless amounts of barges being towed with fertilizer and stone and coal, and there's oil tank barges. It's just a super busy area. What's amazing to watch, and I've watched it 4 or 5 times already, is the crew that gets ready to dock the boat. See what they have to do. They have a boat, an area they have to be in, all these ropes and anchors and things to go. Pretty labor-intensive thing to get one of these river boats docked. Now this steamboat, you can see the wheel is already moving. He's pulling away, and we're going to be pulling into that spot. And then the first stop on our tour is going to be the USS Kidd, number 661. This is what's nice. When you're on a riverboat, you're never too far from the attractions. Karen wants to know if they're going to let her drive the boat. You're hoping, huh? Seeing this makes you really appreciate what the people in World War II went through. This is some macho thing here, baby. So glad we did this, and thank you to everyone for your military service. Yeah, the last thing we see as we leave Baton Rouge. Tallest Capitol building in the United States. We all get out of prison tomorrow. Now, wasn't that sweet? Come on, guys. Tomorrow night is our night. They're going to let you get on stage with the magician. We're going to take a couple of photos with our friends here. We met some really sweet people on this trip. And if they don't behave, we're going to throw them into the paddle wheel. Here we are in the evening just before our next Broadway show. Broadway show every night on the American Queen. Oh my God, hanging out with friends, drinking unlimited free pina coladas.
My cup of tea came to know you, came to feel free and easy. When I'm with you, came to know what to say. And then I'll take you there somehow, someday. My brothers, don't keep your distance. Have I said too much? There's nothing more I can think of to say to you. understand what happiness is. Look, a new day has begun.
Sunset on the Mississippi after a great Broadway show. They have a great Broadway show every night. Anyway, tomorrow, St. Francisville. After another great Broadway show. Boy, they had just one right after another. Today's little journey is going to be through the small town of St. Francisville. Look at how the river has risen here. Trees look like they're growing out of the water. As we're going into St. Francisville, there's some local people cooking fish, right? Catching fish and cooking fish right on the dock here.
You'll see the Spanish influence of this house with the ironwork on the front porch. But this is Myrtle's Plantation. And you have wonderful restroom facilities.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Speech, speech. This is about as nice of an evening as we've had. Another nice Broadway show. Leaving St. Francisville. Next stop in the morning is we're going to go to a cotton plantation. Notice the spray from that wheel. Wow, I'm getting a shower up here. Great being out on the deck at night. Nice and cool. Now this morning we're in the town of Nottoway to see the plantation. Bright sunny day. Now we're in Nottoway. The ship is in the harbor. We're standing on a levee. And this is the plantation we're going to be taking a tour of. Right on the Mississippi. We'll get a picture of you. There's a slight charge, a Louisiana tax, New Jersey tax. It's supposed to rain later today, so we're on the early tour. Wow, everything is so lush here. Boy, could I store a lot of motorcycles in here. Could have the lower level for restoration. And you can see, just like Wendy, this has historic plates.
She is the marriageable age of 16. Wealthy families would marry daughters 16 to 22. Sometimes even younger than that, though on average 16 to 22. 20. Slave quarters,
some
different
baby
storage
birds here.
rooms, wine cellar, stuff like that. Today.
So finally, the first rain since we've been here on the last day. Getting a little rain, a little thunder. Hurricane Karen. Into every life a little rain must fall. Actually, it rained for about a half an hour here. Ah, back on the boat for lunch. It's funny, when we left the boat this morning, Captain Nemo said no chance of rain whatsoever. No chance of rain, sir. You might notice only one stack is smoking. That's pretty cool. I guess they're not burning garbage, but it's really cool to see them put those stacks down.
We're just seasons out of time. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. But the wine and the song and the seasons have all gone. And young man, pick yourself off the ground and say, young man, 'cause you're winning in town. There's no need to be unhappy. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the
Another nice Broadway show. We missed the sunset. Tomorrow morning we'll be in New Orleans. So we wake up this morning, the last day of our trip, and we're in New Orleans. Right, it looks like we're right in the middle of downtown here anyway. Anyway, this is the last stop on our trip. We did make some good friends on this trip. But as always, we're always looking forward to being back home in Rutherford.
Ports. Yeah, do you know a little further up from New Orleans? We have one of those freeze plants where they freeze those chicken ports. People here in the United States like white meat. This cathedral right there, the St. Louis Cathedral, is the second most photographed building in all of the United States. This is their Main Street. And this is where on Oak Street each year they have the Poor Boy Festival. You know, we have 70 different festivals here, and let you get off of the coach, stretch your legs out, and we're going to give you a coupon for beignets and cafe au lait. Of course, most cultures have a fried dough. Ours is the
Time for some New Orleans beignets and some of their local coffee. So part of this tour is you get free beignets. I know my son Craig will love seeing these. Karen was wanting to try the alligator sausage, but instead we decided to just order beignets. Wanted to record this for our good friend Marianne, who is a very religious woman and prays to Padre Pio regularly and has prayed on our behalf regularly. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Padre Pio. Now, as we visit this cemetery, we've learned so much, and there's sometimes 100 people in each one of these. They just put them right one on top of the other, I guess. But very, very interesting. They do not bury the bodies below ground here in New Orleans.
And Iberville will travel all around Louisiana, decide the best place to put the capital of Louisiana is in Biloxi, because all of this is low ground, and that's called the $1 million pumps. They built those after Hurricane Katrina, and they were wrong. So they had to build the $1 billion pumps right past those ones now that they built. So
And this is how the trip ends, in a big thunderstorm. Boy, that's some real thunder and lightning here waiting for the plane. So anyway, hope you enjoyed sharing. There goes the yellow one in the back. Hope you enjoyed sharing our vacation. Thanks for watching. Okay, this is the Miles Airport pickup service. What do you say? Did you miss us?
Accept cash only?
Accept cash for tips? Okay, load them up, boss. Load them up. Don't fall down.
Let me do the big one first.